Everyone is bad with their irons until they learn to do this, having their hands on top of the right leg approaching impact. We see all the best players in the world do this, and this is what you need to create those nice powerfully compressed shots that are nice, straight and accurate and a decent distance, which of course is completely different to what amateur golfers do. Okay, so let's understand this and why it's so crucial. So when we're a golfer who has their hands on top of the right leg as they're at shaft parallel to the ground, all you need to do to be able to get onto that ball with good shaft lean and compression, like we see all the best players in the world, you just need to have a slight turn of your body. And as you can see, I start to present some really nice wrist angles, which we're going to measure here with hack motion to give us some insight. So that is absolutely crucial. If we can see here, I'm going to hit a shot, making sure I'm doing the correct movements to be able to get this, because it's not just as simple as shoving the hands more forward. I'm going to show you how to in this video. And we're going to see some nice wrist angles without me even trying. So that's where with amateur golfers, what we'll see them do is be back here approaching the golf ball. So this is what everyone does that makes them bad with irons. So if you're coming down the downswing and the hands are quite outside the right leg, trailing your trail side, it's going to be almost impossible for you to be able to deliver shaft lean, because if you do, you're just going to fat the golf ball. So what we would see from there is golfers have to accelerate the club because ultimately the arms are too far away. So you've got to then throw the wrist angles coming into the shot, and what we're going to see there with hack motion again, we're going to get these horrible flipped motion swings, so no compression. So that's where loads of amateurs can be racking their brain and trying to get this motion in there and think, okay, how can I get those hands more forward at impact to present those nice wrist angles, and trying to manipulate it, where in reality they just need to move their body correctly to be able to do this. So how do we do it? So like I said, we don't get those hands just driving forward like so. That's not the case. This is all about how you move with your shift and turn in the golf swing. So what I want to see golfers do to be able to create this motion, I want to see them blend their weight shift and their rotation. So if you do that and you blend your weight, shift and rotation together, so there's no shift and turn, it's shift and turn together. Again, I've got a great feel and drill to do this. You're going to notice that how the hands and arms are going to naturally get on top of the right leg. Naturally going to happen. So when golfers don't do this, they're either getting a shift and trying to turn, and look what happens, the upper body tilts away and the arms get way, way behind, or they just try to pivot back behind the golf ball, and again, not in a good spot. So you need to shift and turn correctly. So it's almost feeling like the belt buckle gets on top of the left heel, or even better, the belly button gets behind your left heel as you're coming down the downswing. So look here, just with the left hand, I'm just doing this belly button now. I'm going to make it go behind left heel. See how that drives forward. Again, and all I need to do, keep going back, boom, in that nice shaft lean. So I don't want to be, again, shifting and then turning, because I'm going to get some terrible strikes. Of course, that was a bit of an exaggeration, that one, but as we can see, not good at impact, very flippy. We need to get, again, both motions. Shift and turn together. Belly button past the left heel is what we need. Oh, now that was a nice strike. Feels nice and dynamic too. And one more good thing to do before we go dive into this drill a little bit more. Feel your arms be relaxed, because a lot of this is around tension. So many golfers who are gripping the club, let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being dropping it, 10 being gripping it as tight as possible, they're about 11 or 12. So if you're too tense, you're not going to be able to move the body very well, because the body has too much tension, and the arms won't move along with the body motion. So you'll stay back with the arms. Tension is a killer for this motion. So if we stay nice and loose, around a 4 out of 10 in grip pressure, some golfers might have to feel even less than that. Your arms are going to respond with the body a lot better. They're going to move nicer. So let's do one here. Okay, shifting and turning. I'll show you the drill. Arms nice and relaxed. Brilliant. Okay, so here's our drill. This is one I talk about a lot on the channel here, and it is a winner. I also got another drill which is tied into hack motion here, which is awesome for proper feedback. So okay, shifting and turning, blending them together is a tough thing. So that's where, if you're doing a motion like you're skipping a rock across a pond, you're going to do that shifting and turning naturally and instinctively. But because it's golf swing, we're just starting there from a static position, it's quite tough to blend it in. So that's where, if I get a stick here, put it through my belt loops, a tiny bit on the right and a lot on the left hand side. What I want to do here is I want to get this stick going down and around. So of course we're tilted. Golf swing, we're tilted. The ball's on the ground, we have to stay tilted there. Stick has to be a little bit down. Left side has to be lower than the right. If I keep that relationship, so stick staying down, but get it disappearing around me, what happens is I start to turn, as you can see, but I also shift pressure to the left early and get the shift, the blend of the shift and turn together at the same time. Technically, if we measured it with something like gears, for example, we would see the shifting happen first, but the unwinding is catching up. It's such a split second, we can't possibly isolate that via mental thoughts. So that's where we need to try to do it together. So blending in that shift and turn, stick going down around is absolutely brilliant. That's why, again, if we're measuring this with our hack motion for our nice, of course, monitor of wrist angles, because the wrist angles will tell us whether we've done it right or wrong, we'll start to see some really nice results. That was a lovely strike, getting in brilliant flexion there. Awesome. Another one. Let's do it. Okay, down and around, blending in the shift and turn together. We're going to get good feedback that we've got this motion. It's going to get us here. And let's give it a go. Awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do here is something that is going to tell us exactly where we're at, because so many golfers make the mistake of practicing something they don't even need to work on. So that's where here, with the hack motion on, which is a link down description for a good discount on this as well, what we've got guided practice. So guided practice will tell you exactly what you need to work on here. So it'd be interesting for me just hitting some balls with me getting in this position, what it says. So we just need to hit 5 balls and go through them. So hitting 5 nice shots, and it's going to tell us absolutely what we need to work on afterwards. So for you guys, if you're back here and flippy, it's going to read that you're getting too much left wrist extension. So that's something to look out for. So again, let's do some here. I'll speed it up a little bit. Okay, so let's have a look here. So it's saying already issues detected. So that's where for me at setup, I can sometimes be in a little bit too much of what we're going to see in a moment when it comes up here. I've got it for 3 of the shots I was in this slight little bit here. So a little bit too flex. Now, for me, this is where knowing your grip type is really important, especially what we're talking about here as well. It's to know how much of, let's say, flexion or extension is good for you. Because for me, I have a weak grip, weak left hand. So generally, this is good for me. Too flexed at setup means that's good for me in my swing because I've got a weak grip. I need flexion of the left wrist to close the face, where if you're a little bit stronger the grip, you might see a little bit, still a little bit of cupping at setup, or at impact a little bit would be fine. Knowing your grip is so important for this. So if we run through again, it's going to really help us out here. We can see tips for improving setup. Check your grip strength, just like what we said. So it's a really good stuff. And again, might be that you got it calibrated wrong, check your handle position. And again, giving some good things here. So that's where it will, if you've got a little bit of issue there, it will already recommend you some drills to do. So let's say I'm a golfer who's back here and throwing, it's going to recommend me to do drills that are going to help me for that. And hack motion gives you, again, feedback straight away. So let's get to that. Okay, so what we're doing, we're going into the casting drill here in hack motion, because you're going to see it's going to give me perfect feedback. So this is going to buzz and it's going to make noise when I'm doing correct motion. So get into setup as we can see here. Hopefully the rain doesn't carry on too long, but again, it is Scotland after all. So up to the top, get into a good spot, and then just slowly move down, getting that shift and turn. Belly button back behind the left heel, maintaining our angles here. Soft arms is the key though, tension. We don't want to feel tense as we do this. And you can see it's going to give me a good repetition. So that's where, ultimately doing this, it's giving me feedback. So again, up to the top. Once we get in dress, just hold it there. There we go, up to the top. Nice and slowly down. Again, see what I'm doing with my body? I'm unwinding it and I'm turning. So to them, what I recommend whilst you do this drill as well, you do a third one, doing a practice swing. So again, set up, I'm moving a bit prematurely. There we go. Up to the top, good position, nice and slowly. Belly button back behind left heel, maintaining our angles, soft arms. Okay, so we've just done 3 practice swing ones. Now what I want to do for these last 2 balls, I want to do that with hitting a ball at the end. So again, up to the top. Good, looking at the hack motion screen. There we go. And then swinging through, just a little short one there, because like we said, this is the motion that's going to get you to where those hands are going to collect in front of that right leg, and all you need to do is a little turn there. So this is a way I would recommend you all do to learn this. Again, you can do it with or without the hack motion. I'd recommend to do it with, just because of the feedback. But again, nice, getting set up, good, up to the top. There we go. Oh, I've done that slightly, didn't have enough angle. So it's good feedback there, but then swing up, just a little up and through from there in a great spot. So brilliant. So because I got that last one wrong, it's wanted me to go back and do it again. So let's give it a go. Set up. I don't have enough angle there. The arms are actually feeling a bit too tense. There we go. And then just a little up and through, just so I can feel a ball being struck. One more. Get out of position. Hopefully I get this so it doesn't get me to reset it back again. Good. Yes. Nice. Okay, so that's where if you train like this, if you get those good repetitions in, you start to move the body correctly, you're going to start to become a much better iron player. Hands on the right leg is essential to create shaft lean, to create power, to create control. Just like you see all the best players in the world. So if you enjoyed this video, click that like button if you want more golf instruction. Just like this, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video. And everything you need to do what we did today with Hack Motion is on the core tier. So the basic tee you get with it is exactly what you need. And if you want to go to the pro, there's a lot more other stuff you can get from there. So again, there's a link down in the description if you want to pick up a Hack Motion.